Dear viewers, today we have the so-called father of science, Mr. Galileo Galilei. Alright, Mr. Galileo, I'll be forward with you. I'd like to know why we're having this interview in your house and why you're not allowed to leave it.
I'm caged in my own home. I haven't seen my children in 3 long years. I can't even buy my own food or clothing from the market across the street. And you want to know why I'm here? I'm here because I proved to the rat called the Pope that his meaningless and misunderstood theory that everything revolves around the earth was dead wrong.
Alright, Mr. Galilei, you told us why you're here. Clearly you have a bone to pick with our Pope, so Mr. Galilei, if the Pope shouldn't run our world, who should?
I was a devout Catholic like you. I still am, but my faith is shaken. With the heliocentric theory trial, I stood in front of the Pope while he told me that the truth was wrong, despite the countless pages of evidence. I realized power shouldn't be given to the cardinals and popes, but should be given to leaders of truth. People who can back up their claims, like Copernicus. We shouldn't listen to the blind hypocrites running the church, but rather those who have the ability to lead with virtue and character.
Galileo, you recently wrote your journal which outlined the phases of Venus and the moons of Jupiter. Do you mind explaining what happened to this journal and why it's banned?
This journal is clear evidence of the heliocentric theory, and the church still bans it. The people deserve the truth. You and everyone else like you. But you will never come to know about it, because you follow those snakes. I gave you the thermometer, the telescope. I reinvented how the world does science, and yet you and everyone else follows the dirty, vomit-inducing Pope. I gave pure, hard evidence proving the theory in this journal, and the Pope has the audacity to ban it, calling it heresy. This is one of my greatest works. And now, no one will be able to see it. Ever, because of that Pope.
Alright, Galileo, you mentioned your telescope. Could you tell us a bit about it and how you turned a weapon of war into an instrument of science?
You see, most of the work was there. All it needed was vision. I realized when I pointed the telescope, the original one, in the night sky, I could see planets better. But I needed more. I needed more power. I took matters into my own hands and decided to make my own telescope. I simply bought a long brass tube from the blacksmith and used old lenses from the local lens crafter and put the two together. I pointed the contraption to the stars, and to my surprise I could see the very cracks, craters, and crevices on the moon's surface.
Alright, Mr. Galileo, we only have enough time for one more question. So our final question is, Mr. Galilei, how did you become the man you are today?
That's a rather tough question to answer. My memory failed me. I remember as a child, my father brought me to Florence. A few years later, I decided to study medical upon my father's request. On the 3rd day of medical training, I noticed the hanging candlelight swinging. After this, I wanted to learn how a pendulum works. When I figured this out, I conducted more experiments on new topics. I got attracted to astrology and the heavens, and now I enjoy my life as a scientist, and will continue to, despite the recent setbacks.
Always a pleasure having you, Mr. Galileo. Thank you for this interview. Sadly, due to time restraints, we must conclude. I hope for the best for you, Mr. Galileo.
Thank you. Thank you.